This week on Granite State Challenge, the Lancers of Londonderry High School take on the Clippers of Portsmouth High School. Only one team will advance. Granite State Challenge starts now.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by NEA New Hampshire, Safety Insurance, New Hampshire Lottery, DF Richard Energy, HRCU, Cognia, and viewers like you. Thank you. Get ready. It's time for New Hampshire high schools to match wits in a high-stakes scholastic showdown. It's time for Granite State Challenge. Here's your host, John Cannon.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us this week on Granite State Challenge. We're halfway through our quarterfinal round. Two teams have already punched their ticket to the semifinals. One of the two teams we have with us this week is going to join them. Let's introduce them to you. First up, we have the Lancers of Londonderry High School.
Hi, I'm Chris, and last year in March I was supposed to perform at Carnegie Hall, but it got canceled due to COVID.
Hi, my name is Edvika, and my favorite novel is Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice.
Hi, I'm Austin, and I enjoy camping.
Hi, I'm Nathan, and I'm going to be learning guitar next year.
Excellent. The alternate is Brandon. The team is coached by Peter Willis, and they are the Lancers of Londonderry High School. Facing off against them this week are the Clippers of Portsmouth High School.
I'm Francis, and as of when this is filming, today is my mom's birthday.
I'm Nick, and I answer the questions about rivers.
I'm Josie, and my favorite basketball team is the North Carolina Tar Heels.
I'm Maddock, and this morning I saw a bluebird, which made me very happy.
Excellent. The team is coached by Hannah Dool, and they are the Clippers of Portsmouth High School. One more introduction. Back with us again this week is our judge, Ann Belanger. All right, teams, introductions are done. Nice to meet you. Londonderry, Portsmouth. We're going to jump right into the game. As you know, in Granite State Challenge, we play in 4 rounds, and in round 1, we do 10-point toss-up questions. Good luck, teams. This Norwegian fairy tale features goats and a bridge-protecting troll who wants to eat them. Francis of Portsmouth.
Three Billy Goats Gruff.
That's it. In March of 2021, this man became the 86th United States Attorney General. Francis of Portsmouth.
Merrick Garland.
Yes. I am so hungry I could eat a horse is an example of this figure of speech that exaggerates things. Francis of Portsmouth.
Hyperbole.
Yes. This 1954 novel by British author William Golding features a group of schoolboys whose plane crashes on an island. Austin of Londonderry.
Lord of the Flies.
That's it. The Holy Roman Empire was dissolved in 1806 during the Napoleonic Wars. It was established in 800 when Pope Leo III crowned this King of the Franks emperor. Nick of Portsmouth.
Charlemagne?
Yes. This could be a young child or a spiny echinoderm. Francis of Portsmouth. Sorry, ran out of time. Londonderry. We were looking for an urchin. This Montana woman was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1916, 4 years before the passage of the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. In 1917, she was one of 49 House members to vote against U.S. entry into World War I, which led to her loss in the 1918 election. But she was, Josie?
Jeanette Rankin.
Yes, correct. All right, teams, what is the pH of a neutral solution? Edvika of Londonderry?
7.
Correct. The Karamazov Brothers by Russian author Fyodor Dostoevsky tells the story of 3 brothers, one of whom is accused of patricide. What is patricide? Edvika of Londonderry?
Killing one's father.
Correct. At 4,130 miles, this is Africa's longest river. Francis of Portsmouth.
The Nile.
Correct. This 1848 book by Karl Marx and Frederick Engels ends with the words, "Workers of the world unite." Francis of
The
Portsmouth.
Communist Manifesto.
That's it. This former shortstop and second baseman was the manager of the Boston Red Sox in the 2018-2019 season and was rehired as the manager for the 2021 season. Francis of Portsmouth.
Alex Cora.
Yes. This musical term is taken from the Italian word for false. Nick of Portsmouth.
Falsetto?
Yes. This Jamaican-born political activist and black nationalist founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League in 1914 and declared himself Provisional President of Africa. We're looking for Marcus Garvey. New Hampshire is known as the Granite State. What type of rock is granite? Francis of Portsmouth.
Igneous.
That's it. What is the term for a unit of heat measured by the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 pound of water by 1 degree Fahrenheit? Edvika of Londonderry.
A calorie?
Sorry, nope. It was a British Thermal Unit, or BTU. All right, teams, what is the term for the increase in the price of goods and services in an economy and the decrease in the purchasing power of money? Austin of Londonderry.
Inflation.
You got it. In what novel by Nathaniel Hawthorne will you find the characters Hester, Pearl, and Arthur Dimmesdale? Chris of Londonderry.
Scarlet Letter.
Yes. There are 76 of these in the big parade in the song from the 1957 musical The Music Man by Meredith Willson. Maddock of Portsmouth.
Trombones.
That's it. The head of a school district is usually a superintendent. Spell superintendent. Francis of Portsmouth.
SUPERINTENDENT.
You got them all. Well done. Teams, what are the 3 secondary colors? Nathan of Londonderry.
Green, purple, orange.
Yes. All right, teams, the next question is our Unitil power question. It's worth double the points. It's a 20-point toss-up question coming on your monitors. Take a look.
This rare metal element, identified in 1781, has an atomic number of 74, and its symbol is W. Its alloys are used in X-ray tubes and incandescent light bulb filaments.
Austin of Londonderry.
Tungsten.
Correct. This poet eschewed capitalization and punctuation and played with word forms in many of his works, including Anyone Lived in a Pretty How Town and Unjust. That poet is E.E. Cummings. In a game of chess, if one player has lost 50% of their total chess pieces, how many pieces have they lost? Francis of Portsmouth?
8.
Correct. This British composer's 1945 composition, The Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra, was commissioned for an educational documentary film called Instruments of the Orchestra. That composer's name is Benjamin Britten. This union leader, who was the president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters from 1957 until 1971, disappeared on July 30th, 1975. He was portrayed by Al Pacino in the 2019 movie The Irishman. Austin of Londonderry.
Jimmy Hoffa.
Correct. The ancient city of Pompeii was destroyed when this volcano erupted. Josie of Portsmouth.
Mount Vesuvius.
Correct. This is what a troupe led by Arthur, King of the Britons, in a 1975 Monty Python movie were searching for. Francis of Portsmouth.
The Holy Grail.
That's it. This group of 19th century textile workers were known for smashing the machinery that they thought was taking away their jobs. They were the Luddites. This ancient Greek mathematician is the father of geometry. Francis of Portsmouth.
Archimedes.
Sorry, no. Austin of Londonderry.
Pythagoras.
Sorry, it was Euclid. This is what Jason and his troop of Argonauts were searching for in Greek mythology. Josie of Portsmouth.
The Golden Fleece.
That's it. In most states, the lieutenant governor, if the lieutenant governor is incapacitated, that's okay. We're not going to get to the end of that question, but after one round, Portsmouth out to a bit of a lead by a score of 160 to 90. All right, excellent work, teams. We're going to continue on into round two. In round two, we do 20-point toss-up questions. So good luck, Londonderry and Portsmouth. Here we go. And actually, go ahead and take a look at your monitors. You are looking at the 1939 painting Groundswell by this American realist painter. He is perhaps best known for his painting Nighthawks, which depicts three customers in an all-night diner. That painting is by Edward Hopper. Teams, what is the term given to attempts to increase the number of justices on the U.S. Supreme Court? Francis of Portsmouth?
Court packing.
That's it. This word, for someone who thinks the world revolves around them, is taken from the name of a figure from Greek mythology that fell in love with his own reflection. Josie of Portsmouth?
Narcissist.
Yes. Rapper and singer Megan Javon Ruth Pete is better known by this stage name. Her single Savage remix featuring Beyonce was released in 2020. Francis of Portsmouth.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Yes. This royal forest in Nottinghamshire, England also appears in the Robin Hood legend. Francis of Portsmouth.
Sherwood Forest.
That's it. The Treaty of Friendship, Cooperation, and Mutual Assistance, founded in 1955, was an alliance between the Soviet Union and 7 other Eastern European countries. It is better known by this name, derived from the city where it was signed. Francis of Portsmouth.
Warsaw Pact.
That's it. This astronomer won the 1978 Pulitzer Prize for nonfiction for his book, The Dragons of Eden, Speculations on the Evolution of Human Intelligence. It's probably one of billions and billions of awards that he won in his lifetime. Josie of Portsmouth?
Carl Sagan.
That's it. This cylindrical map projection, created in 1569, inflates the size of objects away from the equator. Francis of Portsmouth?
Mercator.
That's it. Teams, what fictional character likes his martinis shaken, not stirred? Austin of Londonderry?
James Bond.
That's it. The bridge of your nose, your ears, and sharks get their shape from this elastic tissue. Francis of Portsmouth.
Cartilage.
That's it. Teams, what percent of 20 is 4? Francis of Portsmouth.
20%.
Correct. Yes, 20 was what we were going for. The 1861 Battle of Bull Run, the first major battle of the Civil War, resulted in a decisive victory for the Confederacy. In what state did the battle take place? Francis of Portsmouth.
South Carolina.
Sorry, nope. Nathan of Londonderry.
Virginia.
That's it. In 1983, President Reagan announced the Strategic Defense Initiative. It was quickly given this name, inspired by a popular George Lucas movie franchise. Austin of Londonderry.
Star Wars.
Correct. This 19th century activist was a leading reformer in the treatment of the mentally ill. Her interest began in the 1840s when she was a teacher of female prisoners in East Cambridge, Massachusetts, and saw how the mentally ill were treated. Edvika of Londonderry?
Dorothea Dix.
Correct. Charles Wilson, president of an auto company, is credited with saying, "What's good for blank is good for the country." Francis of Portsmouth.
The economy.
Sorry, no. He said, "What's good for General Motors is good for the country." There are 3 periods in hockey. How long does each one last? Francis of Portsmouth.
20 minutes.
Yes. This busty blonde actress, famous for her double entendres, once said, "I believe in censorship. I made a fortune out of it." That was Mae West. Teams, what do you call the point where parallel lines seem to converge in the distance in a painting or drawing? Edvika of Londonderry.
The vanishing point.
That's it. This Colombian writer is perhaps best known for the novels 100 Years of Solitude and Love in the Time of Cholera. Is Gabriel Garcia Marquez. This political scandal occurred in the second term of the Reagan administration and involved the sale of arms to fund right-wing rebel groups in Nicaragua. Austin of Londonderry.
Iran-Contra.
That's it. The Latin epic poem Aeneid was written by this poet sometime. We're not going to get to the end of that one. It was Virgil was the correct response. And Portsmouth hanging on to its lead by a score of 360 to 210 at the end of round 2. All right, teams, we're going to move on into our 3 strikes and you're out round. In this round, as you know, each team gets a category with 10 questions. We'll go down the line, 1 question per contestant until either all are asked or until 3 strikes and you're out. Londonderry, as the team trailing, you get to go first, and Chris, as the captain, you get to choose from these categories. Time after time, Regular Joe, and I've Got Your Number.
Could you repeat them?
Time after time, Regular Joe, I've Got Your Number.
Regular Joe.
Regular Joe. All right. Identify the following Joes, Josephs, or Josephines by their full name. Okay? All right. Chris, New York Jets quarterback who famously predicted that his underdog team would beat the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III. It is Joe Namath. Edvika. She is the lead character and second oldest sister in Little Women. It's Josephine March. Austin. He is the 46th President of the United States.
Joe Biden.
Correct. Nathan. He ruled the Soviet Union from 1927 to 1953. Joseph Stalin. So that is your 3rd strike and 1 correct response in your 3 strikes round. All right, Portsmouth, we turn our attention to you, and Francis, as team captain, you get to choose from the remaining 2 categories, Time After Time and I've Got Your Number.
I'll go with I've Got Your Number.
All right, I've Got Your Number. In this category, identify the number related to the following. Okay, each correct response will be a number. Francis, items in a baker's dozen.
13.
Correct. Nick, voting members in the U.S. House of Representatives.
250.
It's 435. Josie, suited cards in a deck of cards.
3.
It's 52. Maddock, keys on a piano keyboard.
88.
Correct. Francis, letters in the alphabet.
26.
Correct. Nick, members in the New Hampshire House.
40.
400. It's close. So 3 strikes and 3 correct responses. All right, teams, nice work. After round 3, Portsmouth is hanging on to its lead. Londonderry, Portsmouth. We're going to go into round 4, where we continue with our 20-point toss-up questions. However, we're going to be deducting 20 points for any incorrect responses. So play smart and strategic. Londonderry, Portsmouth, good luck. Here we go. 17th century French philosopher René Descartes is famous for the phrase cogito ergo sum, which is usually translated to this in English. Edvika of Londonderry.
I think, therefore I am.
Correct. Labor leader Lech Walesa served as the first democratically elected president of this country from 1990 to 1995. Nick of Portsmouth.
Russia.
Sorry, no. Close. Poland. This French painter and illustrator was the subject of the 1952 movie Moulin Rouge and is portrayed by John Leguizamo in the 2001 jukebox musical Moulin Rouge. One of his most famous works, not surprisingly, is the painting at the Moulin Rouge. His name is Toulouse-Lautrec. This Cuban-American musician is the lead singer for the Miami Sound Machine. Edvika of Londonderry.
Gloria Estefan.
Yes. This line of demarcation was the result of a border dispute between Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. It is the Mason-Dixon line. You will find this painting by Leonardo da Vinci in the refectory of the convent of Santa Maria delle Grazie in Milan, Italy. Looking for the Last Supper on that one. Teams, which Shakespearean king said, "I am a man more sinned against than sinning"? That line was spoken by King Lear. This New Deal agency was established in 1935 and created public works jobs that led to the construction of public buildings and roads. Austin of Londonderry.
Civilian Conservation Corps.
Sorry, no. It was the Works Progress Administration, or the WPA. What is the fixed time for half of the radioactive nuclei in a substance to decay called? Francis of Portsmouth.
Half-life.
Yes. This Frenchman's work, Democracy in America, was written after his travels through the United States. Edvika of Londonderry.
Alexis de Tocqueville.
Correct. The name of this mortal from Greek mythology is often used to describe a handsome young man. Francis of Portsmouth.
Adonis.
Correct. This Western Pennsylvania uprising took place in the 1790s in protest over federal taxes on distilled liquor. Austin of Londonderry.
Whiskey Rebellion.
Correct. What was the name of the project for developing nuclear weapons in the United States during World War II? Francis of Portsmouth.
Manhattan Project.
Correct. This is the largest public library in the United States and has over 170 million cataloged items. Josie of Portsmouth.
Library of Congress.
That's it. This city on the Saskatchewan River is the capital of Canada's Alberta province. Francis of Portsmouth.
Edmonton.
That's it. The first lines of this author's Leaves of Grass are, "I celebrate myself and sing myself, and what I assume you shall assume, for every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you." Edvika of Londonderry.
Walt Whitman.
That's it. Frontierswoman and sharpshooter Martha Jane Cannery, who was played by Robin Weigert in the series Deadwood, is much better known by this nickname. Josie of Portsmouth.
Annie Oakley.
Sorry, nope. It's Calamity Jane. All right, teams, at 1,412 feet below sea level, the surface and shores of this salt lake are the Earth's lowest elevations on land. Francis of Portsmouth.
Dead Sea.
Yes. In which country will you find the Dolomites mountain range? Francis of Portsmouth.
Italy.
That's correct. Teams, what is the term for giving human characteristics to animals or objects? Nathan of Londonderry.
Personification.
We'll take that. We would have also taken anthropomorphism. You will find the character Natty Bumppo in The Leatherstocking Tales by this author. It is James Fenimore Cooper. This Arizona city is named for a bird that rises from the ashes of its predecessor. Nick of Portsmouth.
Phoenix.
Phoenix is correct. The film comedy troupe of Harpo, Groucho, Chico, and Zeppo was known collectively by this name. Francis of Portsmouth.
Marx Brothers.
That's it. This 1917 song, written by George M. Cohan, stated that the Yanks are coming and was popular during World War I. That song was called Over There. The Bhagavad Gita, or Song of God, is one of the most important religious texts in this religion. Edvika of Londonderry.
Hinduism.
Yes. This genre of music was popular at the turn of the 20th century. It was primarily composed for piano and featured syncopated rhythms. One of its most popular composers was Scott Joplin. Francis of Portsmouth.
Ragtime.
Say it again.
Ragtime.
Ragtime is correct, and that sound ends the game. And by a score of 550 to 340, Portsmouth will be moving on to the semifinals. Congratulations, Portsmouth. We'll see you in a few weeks. Londonderry, thank you so much. It's a good game, a hard-fought game. You guys did great, and we're so glad that you guys were able to be a part of this season. And we hope that you are glad to be a part of today's show. We do hope you join us next week when the Falcons of Bow High School take on the Cardinals of Stevens High School and Claremont. That'll do it for us this week on Granite State Challenge. We hope to see you next time. I had fun and I learned a lot, and I hope you did too. We'll see you next time.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by NEA New Hampshire, Safety Insurance, New Hampshire Lottery, DF Richard Energy, HRCU, Cognia, and viewers like you. Thank you.